The Michigan Prisoner Reentry Initiative, or MPRI, is the only statewide transitional program for citizens returning to civilian life from behind bars. And if Michigan's a model for the nation, the Ann Arbor office is a model for the state, thanks in large part to the efforts of staff like University of Michigan graduate Megan McKinley.
Just wondering whether you have employed people in the past who have a criminal background.
As workforce developer, Megan's job is to find recently released prisoners' jobs. And with the hardened attitudes among employers toward the prison population, that's no easy task.
What steps do you have to take in working with the returning citizens to be able to go to an employer and credibly say, listen, this can be a good employee for you because we're doing X, Y, and Z to help them? What are those steps?
It starts from the second they leave prison. They learn about the process that they're going to have to go through. We make them jump through a few hoops, so it's like almost a self-selection process. We send them to several workshops for job readiness, job development, help them build a resume, help them work on their interviewing skills. Then they are able to come and see me, the workforce developer, with some potential job leads in the community. This is the synopsis of my expectations for these meetings we're going to have. We don't give the person the job, they have to get the job themselves. We just try to work on every little thing from professional image, helping them try to get clothes for interviews, just reiterating time and time again different points about what it's going to take for them to really stand out against the odds.
The sales pitch is sweetened by a federal tax incentive and a bonding program, but ultimately employers want good employees. That's where Wayne Wade comes in.
Most of them work like up in this area right here and over onto the other side over here.
As Washtenaw County's MPRI employment coordinator, Wayne helps returning citizens work through what he refers to as institutional behaviors, so future employers won't have to.
We have high tolerance, so we're trying to work with them, and then we address the issue, counsel them, work with them, sit down. A regular employer wouldn't allow this kind of behavior. Individuals are showing up late all the time, who are not calling in when they're missing work, no show, no calls, those types of things, that type of behavior. Maybe profanity on the job, inappropriate interaction with other coworkers, those types of things that other employers would probably terminate you on the spot or wouldn't be very tolerant of it very long. We work with them and counsel them and try to get them ready for the employment within the community.
Over time, as you counsel them, do you see an adjustment in their approach to the work environment?
Oh, absolutely. We work with people all the time and you see the change. Sometimes others, are a little more hard-headed than some and we have to address it more often, but you'll see you see a change, especially when you're working with an individual and you're actually respectful. You compliment them. I mean, a lot of this population's never been complimented or hasn't been complimented very often. You go out, pat them on the back, good job, and they look at you like, what? So it's pretty rewarding when you see someone become successful and do well.
The returning citizens in the program share Wayne's enthusiasm.
Do you think a program like this will help people not wind up back in prison?
Yes, because it gave me a sense of direction, because I ain't have a lot of things, as far as ID, job, and they helped me get transportation back and forth to work, they helped me get the job, they helped me to obtain the ID. They did a lot of things to help me as to where I wouldn't have to take that trip back down that way, so they helped me out a very lot.
If you don't mind me asking, how long were you incarcerated?
I was incarcerated for 4 years, so I've been working here for 2 years, so MPRI made it a little bit easier for me because I ain't have a sense of direction when I was coming home, so they helped me in ways that I can't even imagine.
Many returning citizens understand the uphill climb they face in changing the minds of landlords and employers because they shared those views prior to their own incarceration.
Prior to going to prison, I would have felt differently about this. I would have felt that if you were in prison and you had a felony, then I wouldn't have given you much notice in society.
Well, it's interesting. You have both perspectives because, like you said, you wouldn't have given a program like this a second thought prior to your own conviction.
Yes.
And so what would you say to somebody like yourself, however many years ago, to say we need this?
I think it's going to take both the community and us as felons working together, because we have a responsibility to toe the line also. We're giving these opportunities, but we have to show up and you know, do the right thing so the public will say, hey, you know, this is worthy of, you know, supporting financially or giving us opportunities in the job market. I mean, the two issues that I think I'm confronting that are the hardest is the job market and housing, both because of a felony. And it's kind of hurts my heart because for most of my life, I was part of that community and was giving back as a nurse. And now that I've experienced this, I just feel so strongly that everybody that wants this opportunity is deserving of it. And I'll support anyone that puts the effort into it, you know, just as I have. So I'm grateful.
MPRI is clearly saving the state of Michigan millions of dollars in correctional costs by lowering recidivism rates, turning tax burdens into taxpayers, and making a positive impact on the lives of returning citizens. And even the transitional employment program is self-sustaining.
They're doing real work for a real client. I
Correct.
assume there's a revenue stream there. So is this revenue neutral as a program and yet at the same time achieving some of the reentry goals?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes. So
So,
it's a good thing.
so how does a taxpayer take offense to that?
They shouldn't. Absolutely shouldn't. And if they have any questions, they can call me personally.
From, you know, really a purely practical standpoint, it makes sense to provide services and supervision to people who are coming out of prison. It makes sense from a community safety standpoint. It makes sense from just a humanistic standpoint. It's the right thing to do.